Magandang hapon po. May press conference po ngayon ng Asian Water Council at iba pang kumpanya na nagsibibigay po ng supply ng tubig at kaugnay po ito sa problema natin ngayon sa supply ng tubig. Panorin po natin ito.
And of course, the Secretary General, Dr. Yoon Jok Chu. Dito si... So we are now complete. I know he has to come all the way from the embassy. And he's just on time. So as I said, let me acknowledge my co-panelists, the President of the Asian Water Council, Dr. Hak-Soo Lee, Manila President Mon Fernandez, Manila Water President First de la Cruz, Bulacan Bulk Water President Igay Dunya, I think he is not available. Of course, our Chief Regulator, Attorney Patrick T., and hopefully, the Executive Director of the NWRB, Dr. Bill David, will join us later. Let me start by stressing that short and long-term solutions for Metro Manila's water supply demand are now in place and on pace under the Duterte administration. I wish to assure the public that there will be enough and sufficient water to supply the future needs of the 20 million residents in Metropolis and nearby provinces, serviced by the its three concessionaires in the next 10 to 15 years. Admittedly, we are on a catch-up mode as far as water supply source is concerned, since our main source, which is the Angat Dam that supplies 96% of water to Metro Manila and the provinces of Bulacan, Cavite, and Rizal, was built in 1967, and no major water source has been built since then, except for some water supply projects from Laguna Lake by both Manila and Manila Water. More than 40 years. Ang Kaliwa Dam that we are going to start was conceived during the Marcos administration, and it's only now that's going to happen. It is only over the last 2 years under the administration that serious efforts have been put in place to push for major water flagship projects such as the 600 million liter per day Kaliwa Dam, the 500 million liter per day from Wawa Dam, the 800 million liter per day to be sourced from unutilized water from the Angat North Sagaray area, the 350 MLD from Bayabas Dam, as well as another 500 MLD from the Laguna Lake. To address the present water shortage being experienced by Manila Water, the MWSS has caused the allocation of at least 200 million liters per day to be provided by the East Zone concessionaire as direct measures to address the seeming lack of water supply due to several factors such as El Nino and the increase of demand due to the population growth. And if I may add, the technical problem that they encountered in their Cardona project, which should have been completed as of December of 2018. The recent executive measures by MWS include: first, MWS has requested the National Water Resource Board, through its Executive Director, Bill David, to allow Manila Water to activate deep wells which can supply 100 million liters per day to its consumers. Yesterday, I talked to Dr. David. I sent my DA for engineering to talk with him and requested him to expedite, since we need to mitigate the problem being encountered by Manila Water. MWS requested Manila to allocate 50 million liters per day and share water through cross-border flow to ease the problem and augment the water needs of Manila Water, including the deployment of 5 water trucks to affected areas to service or benefit 50,000 households in Quezon City, Parañaque, and Taguig. At this point, I wish to thank Manila Chairman Manuel B. Pangilinan and, of course, Manila President Ramoncito Fernandez for this Good Samaritan Act to Manila Water, which shows the unity, solidarity, and teamwork of the water sector in times of problems like this. Of course, I would like to emphasize here that when we asked Manila to agree to give about 50 million liters per day, we made sure that it will not affect their consumers, and they certified that indeed they can afford to give 50 million liters per day to Manila Water in the meantime without affecting their own consumers. MWS has also directed Manila Water to activate and operationalize the Cardona Rizal Treatment Plant, which was originally operational in December 2018, enough to provide additional 100 million liters per day, but initially 50 MLD at the end of this month, and hopefully by end of August or earlier, if possible, to complete the other 50 million liters per day. In short arithmetic, these solutions should already be the answer to the 200 million liters per day problem of Manila Water. MWSS will also look into the proposal to construct a new treatment plant so as to preserve Lamisa Dam as a water reserve area in the future, including the much-needed repairs of our conveyance pipes. I would like also to mention here that actually, as we have mentioned, there is enough water still from Angat Dam. And I would like to correct also the impression here that the source of water of Manila Water is not Lamisa Dam. It is still Angat Dam. Lamisa Dam is supposed to be the reserve of Manila Water. And as you all know, the division is actually out of the 4,000 million liters per day, 2,400 goes to Maynilad and 1,600 goes to Manila Water. This is a water protocol that was established in 1997, and since there was enough until now that we are realizing some problems, this was never changed. But I would like to assure you, all of you, that future generation of water source will no longer be on hati-hati or sharing, but we wanted to make sure that the future water source will be dedicated to its concessionaire. We'll develop water source for Maynilad, water source for Manila Water, and the new concessionaire Bulacan Water, we hope that we can also encourage them to develop separate water source, meaning the future water sources except Kaliwa Dam will now be dedicated to each and every one of them. What are our short-term and long-term solutions? As of the moment, we are vigorously pushing for major important water supply projects that will secure the present and future needs of Metro Manila and the service provinces. On Kaliwa Dam, MWSS is calling on DNR for the approval of the ECC so as to commence the construction of the 600 million liters per day water project targeted for completion in 2023. The initial agreement on this water allocation, although this will be paid equally by them, is that initially 450 will go to Manila Water and 150 only will go to Maynilad. But as soon as we shall have normalized, this will now be again into an equal, not anymore more for the other, but it will be 300, or 50% will go to Maynilad and 50% will go to Manila Water. On Wawa Dam, I have earlier encouraged Manila Water Corporation and the proponent of the Wawa Water Source Development, Prime Infra, to sit down and find possible ways to jointly cooperate in the immediate production of 500 million liters per day and the implementation of the Manila Waters project of the 80 million liters per day, which can be finished, as I was assured by Manila Water, in 1 year. So this is one thing that we have to trace. Immediately after this, I'll sit down with them and find out how we can accelerate this project so that next year we'll not encourage the same problem as we are encouraging now. The development of Manila Water and Prime Infra partnership, before coming up with the MOU, have been encouraging, considering that Prime Infra has agreed to yield all water treatment responsibilities to MWC and set up a joint technical group to determine the most viable and feasible ways to help solve the looming water supply crisis as early as possible. The present low water level at Lamisa, precipitated also by El Nino, is a grave concern, and it poses big challenge to government to develop the water immediately needed. As it is, I am now duty-bound to exercise extraordinary means to prompt and convince stakeholders, particularly Manila Water, Prime Impera, and even Maynilad, to move forward in making sure that especially the project of conveyance tunnel. You see, our tunnels are old. Some are vintage 36, 1936, 1956. And I think this one reason, while Manila Water is not saying this, there's probably one reason why Manila Water is not getting the whole of the 1,600. We have recognized this problem as early as 2 years ago, but I hope you have to bear with us that it is not that easy to put a tunnel or a aqueduct. But I would like to assure you that we have completed already 2 that would accommodate 2,400. We are now asking Manila Water and Manila to partner to ensure that Tunnel 5, which will have another 2,400 MLD, will be already started or should be started as soon as possible. And we will complement this with the Aqueduct 7, which has already undergone the NEDA approval and feasibility study. With these 2 projects, I hope that within 2 years, or hopefully less, we should be able to bring in another 2,400 million liters per day through the Lamesa portal. If this will happen, we hope that we can now save some of the water that we are throwing away during rainy days from Angat, and hopefully bring this to Lamesa Dam. The reason here is that while we are already on the spill level in Angat and Ipo, our water level in Lamesa Dam is only about 72. The capacity of Lamesa Dam is about 80. So if we can work on these 2 tunnels and aqueducts, which we are now pursuing vigorously, we hope that we will have about 800 or 600 to 800 more million liters per day that we can put into Lamesa Dam during rainy days, and hopefully bring up the level na instead of 72 during rainy season, we can bring that to 80, level 80 meters, so that there will be enough water for Manila Water for the reserve, because we realize they needed it very badly. On this end, I will enable our regulatory mechanisms in the presence of our Chief RO, Attorney Patrick T., to consider changes and flexibility in the rate rebasing procedures with due consideration of safeguarding the integrity for prudent and efficient regulatory procedures, and at the same time maintain reasonable and affordable water rates for the consumers. I have already convinced RO, and I hope he will consider this very seriously, that some that were not included in the 2018 to 22 rebasing can be fast forwarded for our 2023 to 2028 rebasing, if only to make sure that we will not suffer the same fate as we are suffering now. On the ABC projects that will produce additional 1,200 million liters per day, the completion of the feasibility for the Angat-Nosagay Optimization Project is expected this May. But I'm telling them I need the feasibility study for approval by my board by April, so that we can initially produce 250 MLD by 2021, because we cannot wait for Kaliwa, which is scheduled to be finished in 2023. But again, we are pushing the contractor China Energy to make sure that the Kaliwa Dam, which was started during the Duterte administration, should be completed before the President or President Duterte steps down. And they are assuring me that before June of 2022, they hope to finish this project. The critical portion of that project actually is the 27-kilometer tunnel that will connect the water source to the treatment plant. And we have already agreed with the contractor that this, instead of just going from one place or one point straight all the way, I asked them if they can do it both ends. So that instead of 27 kilometers, it will be about 13.5 and hopefully it will cut the time to about one half. So if they can do that, I think we can finish that before the end of 2022. Well, I told the contractor, I consulted some experts, that if you start from both ends, under the new technology, the difference may not even be more than one centimeter. So if you talk about 4 meter of a tunnel, I think that can easily be solved. The initial water supply from the A project is intended to be allocated equally to Manila Water and Maynilad. The B component, or the Bayabas Dam, with 350 million liters per day capacity, is intended for Bulacan Water, which has, by the way, already started operating for the province of Bulacan. At least first phase, about 6 or 7 municipalities and cities of Bulacan are now being served by Bulacan Bulk Water. On Laguna Lake, MWC is open to the development of new water sources and shall move for the major rehabilitation of the Laguna Lake as future water sources for both Manila and Maynilad. MWCS would like to see the day when all the 3 concessionaires have independent and sufficient water supply sources to better serve the consuming public. By August this year, in time for the 22nd anniversary of the public-private partnership, I am calling for a summit to craft a 50-year water security and use water master plan for Metro Manila and its service areas. And I hope that with this 50 master plan, future administrators and board of MWSs will follow this master plan so that we will not wait for 40 years for another water source to be constructed. An executive committee and technical working group will be created shortly to put on track all the short-term and long-term solutions to water security, sewerage, and other related issues. Thank you very much for coming. At this point, may I just ask my president of the AWC to just say a few opening remarks.
Kamusta kayo, Pinoy? Good afternoon. It's a great opportunity for the AWC and Philippines to host the AWC General Assembly here in Manila. I am Huxley, AWC President. I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to the members of the media for your interest and participation in this meeting. AWC is the representative generative water platform to solve Asian water problems with 26 Asian countries, including Philippines and South Korea and Indonesia and so on. So here's what I want to say. Today, Asian water problems are getting more and more complicated and serious because of rapid population increase and urbanization and climate change, etc. In Asia, many countries are facing frequently unexpected flood and drought, and they have poor infrastructure for solving water problems. Also, their water risk is getting higher because of aging water facilities. So we have to closely work together to take more care of our Asian water issues. AWC is a global cooperation platform to deal with Asian water issues. In order to find out practical water solutions, AWC member organizations keep communicating, sharing, and supporting each other with skill, know-how, and their performance. So I believe it will be very timely, meaningful, and productive for MWSS to host our AWC event. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think our moderators are now ready to ask questions. I am glad that I will not be the only one answering questions now. Our two other guys here, the Maynilad and Manila Water, and especially our chief regulator is here to answer all your questions.
Before you ask questions, let's have some few words from starting with the Maynilad president.
I'm very glad to be part of the AWC. Maynilad welcomes and is very grateful for having the chance to be a co-host to the first Asia Water Council held here in the Philippines. This is increased collaboration amongst each other, as what the President has mentioned already, that problems in the water industry are getting more complicated with increased population and also with climate change. Thank you very much.
Attorney Patrick T.
I'd like to welcome everyone, the guests and delegates to the 3rd General Assembly and the 8th and 9th Board of Council meeting. This is the first time this will be hosted in the Philippines. So I'd like to congratulate the board members led by our Administrator Velasco for being able to deliver, to making the MWSS an international standard, wherein the international, especially in Asia, now recognize the Philippines as one of the leading technology in water. Thank you.
Mr. Ferds.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Philippines, Dr. Haksoo Lee and Dr. Yongchuk Cho. But I think everyone is more interested to hear Manila Water's view on the current situation, and I think that's very important. So with the indulgence of my colleagues, I'd like to take advantage of this forum to also support what General Velasco and Chief Regulator Patrick T has said in this forum and in other forms of media. We support the plan of MWSS for a 50-year master plan so that we finally address the root issue, which is really providing Metro Manila with sufficient water sources. And I think long-range planning and decision-making is key to this. And specific closer to now, in Manila Water, our focus now is really for what will happen today, what will happen tomorrow, given the current situation. And our focus really is making sure the most affected customers right now, we still have about 35 barangays as of yesterday that don't have access to water, and we are redeploying resources for these affected areas, because right now the key issue for Manila Water is really a supply deficit, as we have acknowledged, of about 150 million liters per day. Our demand is at 1750, but the supply is at 1600, and in reality it's only about 1550. I also agree with what General Velasco said. La Mesa is not a water source, it is a reserve. So when your supply from Angat is not sufficient, you tend to dip into that reserve. And what happened on March 6 is that the reserve breached the critical level of 69 meters. As of yesterday, or as of early today, La Mesa is at 68.76 meters. And Angat is at 199.9 meters. So our focus in Manila Water is making sure that we achieve better predictability and not to give false hopes in the meantime as we carry out the other contingency efforts that was discussed earlier. It will take a little bit of time to put them into motion, and there will still be areas of low pressure. We're trying to spread the supply. That's why most or a number of areas still continue to suffer low pressure. And that is really to distribute the limited water to as many people as possible. And we continue to add tankers. We now have about 50. We also need to make sure that our 20 major reservoirs, there are actually 28, but 20 major reservoirs get refilled. Because if we do not refill these reservoirs, then the problem will snowball. And part of that scheme, and people may also begin to feel this, is that as we do a little bit more aggressive rotational interruption, these are meant to refill the reservoir so that we could sustain the service as we work on the additional supply in the next few weeks as MWSS discussed. So I just want to assure the public and our customers that Manila Water is not leaping and making sure that we pinpoint which customer area is affected on a daily basis. We redirect resources to provide support for these affected customers as we continue to work on additional supply. Like what General Velasco said, by end of March, we will have about 50 million liters per day from the Cardona plant, and around August, another 50 million liters per day. But I also want to make sure that we also send the message that this situation right now will continue to exist for a while, and in our estimate through summer, as we because these are high consumption period, and we will have to still conserve water to make sure that more people will share whatever is available. Thank you very much for your indulgence.
Okay, thank you, Manila Water President Ferds de la Cruz. In the meantime, if you have some questions to Dr. Haksuli, who is about to leave in 5 minutes, so let's focus first our questions to Dr. Lee. Any question from the media to Dr. Haksuli? Anything about Asia Water, cooperation and everything? Okay, kindly acknowledge your...
Hi, Ana Magata from Rappler. Can I just ask if the Philippines can probably have any foreign support given that we have this issue right now with our water supply?
Dr. Chu, Dr. Lee.
Basically, this what I try to do. Yeah. You have to, as I said, you have to work together closely, and then our cooperation have to support each country's water situations, as well as your Philippines.
Okay, let me add, because our memorandum of understanding with some of our Korean friends in the context of AWC, tomorrow, the DIGO delegation will be discussing with us how to help clean Manila Bay. And this is one probably area which through AWC, because this was conceptualized with the AWC, we will be meeting with the DIGO delegation tomorrow, and we are inviting the DNR and our stakeholders and some even congressmen who are involved in this, so that at least we will be able to come up with something how DIGO will be able to help us. And again, DIGO is part of the AWC.
Any more questions to Dr. Haksuli? So at this juncture, siguro, before he leaves, let's just have photo op. With nakatayo lang kayo, sir. Photo opportunity.
Ay ang
For the information to everyone,
Ayun niyo po napapanood ay ang press briefing na isinasagawa po ng Asian Water Council kasama po ang iba pang kumpanya ng tubig. At kanina po ay kanilang nabanggit, partikular ang Manila Water na nakiusap po sa kanilang mga customer na patuloy pong magtipid dahil patuloy pa rin daw nilang gagawin ang rotational water interruption hanggat hindi pa raw nadaragdagan ang supply ng tubig sa kanila. Tutulong ang Maynilad sa Manila Water sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng 50 million liters ng tubig kada araw at tiniyak naman na hindi naman daw maapektuhan naman ang mga consumers ng Maynilad sa pagbibigay na ito ng Maynilad ng tubig para sa Manila Water. Samantala, ang solusyon daw na kanilang tinitingnan ay ang konstruksyon ng 2 aqueduct sa Angat Dam na talaga namang makakatulong daw sa karagdagang supply ng tubig. Kinakasan na rin daw nila ang 50-year plan para naman matiyak na maging stable at matatag po ang supply ng tubig sa mga consumers natin dito sa Pilipinas. Balikan po natin ang press briefing dyan sa pangunguna po ng MWSS at ang Asian Water Council.
Manila Water is getting water from La Mesa Dam right now. Is it right po? While Maynilad is getting directly from Angat Dam. So according to Pag-asa, dapat po yung water sa La Mesa Dam ay reserve lang. So tanong ko po, bakit nyo na po nagagamit yung sa La Mesa Dam ngayon?
Salamat, Lala. Kagaya ng binanggit ko kanina, the demand is 750. The water coming from Angat is 1,600 or actually 1,550. La Mesa is a reserve. So kung yung demand is higher than what you're getting from Angat, then kakain siya dun sa reserve. And that's the one that brought down La Mesa to the critical level.
For the record lang po kasi I just arrived. Hanggang kailan po magtitiis yung mga affected residents ng Metro Manila at ano po yung immediate solution na ma-offer natin ngayon?
Based on our projections, given the level of La Mesa and given what they used to enjoy in terms of demand, this will last through the summer. Although there will be points wherein supply will increase. No? End of March, as I mentioned earlier, we have a new plant in Cardona, Rizal, which will give 50 MLD. And then it will go up to 100 by around August. And then we are also doing deep wells through the help of NWSS and NWRB. So initially 30 MLD in April. And I think about it will go up to 80 around July. So those are the additional supply. But then we will get about 50 from Maynilad. That's still to be operationalized. So we're working on that progressive improvement on supply. But ang iniiwasan ko lang po is magbigay ng false expectations na gaganda na. No? We will still continue to distribute the pressure and we will continue to update on a daily basis what is the situation. Because we also need to fill up the reservoirs. We are now on catch-up mode in filling up the reservoirs. And in fact, to do that, we may have, and this is some sort of a conditioning also for our customers, we may have to do more aggressive rotational interruption in order to fill up the reservoirs, which are now at low levels. No? So it will get worse before it gets better through the summer. And a lot of this help that we're getting from different sources, from Maynilad, from the new plant, from deep wells, will progressively increase. But what we want to make sure is, at this point, we take care of the customers that don't have water in the edges of the network, where there's no supply, and we're getting specific data to provide some help for them. No? We sympathize with our customers during these times, and we want to make sure that we provide them better information on a daily basis.
Okay, any question to Maynilad President Mon Fernandez? May question kay Mon?
For Maynilad po, sir. Nabanggit niyo po na willing kayo mag-share ng 60%, part of your 60% allocation ng water.
50 million liters per day,
Ay,
not 50 50 million liters per
50 million liters per day.
50%, they will run out of water.
I know, I mean, part of
It's
the
50 million
60%
liters per day only. It's only a portion of...
Alright, sorry, sir.
They will cry. Manila will cry.
Okay, they will share 50 million liters per day water to Manila Water. So, tama po ba? Kasi yung reservoir daw ng Manila Water ay mas mataas kesa sa inyo. So, ang challenge nyo raw ay yung pag-flow pataas ng tubig. So, na-address na po ba to, sir?
We have been in that situation. We have a Bagbag reservoir which holds a big part, 60% of our requirements. And we have a standing arrangement already with Manila Water. Pinupuno namin po yun tuwing gabi at sila naman nagwi-withdraw ng water pagka umaga at mataas ang demand. So ganun kami co-cooperate together ng Manila Water and supervised actually with the leadership of MWSS. Yes, we have committed 50 MLD. It will be progressive. There are still some minor piping works that has to be done to connect. We have also pinpointed the different points wherein we will have a cross-border transfer, and it will progress up to the time that our second plant in Putatan will operate, which we hope will happen by April.
Okay, thank you. Any question to Attorney Patrick T. or RO? Ms. Sandra?
Mr. T, you mentioned earlier that the lowering the pressure may not be the solution for Manila Water, and then you mentioned valving may be the solution.
Okay.
Can you give us more details about
thank
that?
you. Right now, Manila Water is distributing their remaining water via pressure management. It's not lowering the pressure. The problem, I think, when I mentioned about low pressure is it won't go to the water in the higher places. So because of the low pressure, normally you need high pressure for the water to go to places like Capitolio where it's higher than normal. So the water's not going there. So there's a lot of people are in Pasig area are complaining. So what we are discussing with Manila Water is to change their style of distributing the water. And they are studying right now valving. So that's, I think, maybe Manila Water can explain that more.
Yeah, thank you, Chief. Thank you for clarifying that. I think part of the solution to address certain areas, Capitolio was very noisy and because they're at the highest point in that area last Friday and through the weekend. And partly to address that, as what Chief Regulator said, we changed the distribution scheme by changing the pumping station serving Capitolio from some one pumping station to activating our May Bunga booster. So in certain areas, it's possible to change the scheme. And in fact, network reconfiguration is better because it's more sustainable. Tankering is your last resort. So what we do is we look at which by changing the pumping station or the reservoir, is there a better mix given the limited supply? When you do yung tinatawag nilang valving, tinotono mo to see how much water you could push to certain areas. That also happened in the case of Capitolio, and it's happening all over the area as we distribute the supply, you know, as best as we can, so that most areas could have time for water. That's why if you see in our announcements, medyo mahaba siya because we're trying to give everyone some chance, even if it's not 24 hours, time to get water rather than concentrated in areas. But even with that, there's still areas na minsan kinakapos, as Chief said, pag low pressure, hindi umaabot, no? So we get that information on the ground. We have a lot of people on the ground validating this, and we continue to increase our final resort, which is tankering in areas that need immediate need. So that's the way we try to address it. And we update this list on a daily basis, and it's updated on real time to make sure that we are deploying the resources in the right places. Thank you.
Okay, we're okay for 2 more questions as we have, I think the administrator has still appointment at 3 o'clock. Okay? 2 more questions.
Hi, Sir Joanna from UNTV. Medyo maliliis lang po ako ng question ko. I understand everyone is concerned po sa water supply. Question lamang po kay Sir Patrick T. We're doing a story po kasi regarding system loss sa tubig. We just wanted to know, para lang din maunawaan po ng ating mga customer, ano po ba yung system loss sa tubig and why do we need to charge it sa mga customers, sir?
I think that's called non-revenue water. That actually in every system, in every utility system, there is always going to be some a factor that you cannot charge all of the production. For example, sa water, ano din yan system loss ang tawag nila sa kuryente. But sa tubig, non-revenue water ang tawag natin doon. Ito po ay ginagamit ito po ay nangyayari dahil sa leakages. Sometimes it's used for public purposes. Let's say, for example, sa mga fire hydrant, sometimes binibigay doon. And sometimes used for flushing. Let's say, pag may mga maduduming mga pipes na may nagka-problem, nagkaroon ng leakage, tapos may pumasok na anything, so they need to flush it sometimes. So that's called non-revenue water. So, why is it being charged to the public? It's part of the basket of the computation kasi it's similar to energy wherein you charge the system loss to the public. You also charge that to the public. So if you know of your neighbor na nagnanakaw siya, hindi siya nagnanakaw lang sa mga concessionaires. Nagnanakaw siya sa lahat ng consumers because lahat ng ninakaw niya, lahat babayaran yan ng lahat ng mga consumers.
Okay, thank you, RO, Chief RO. And one last question, and perhaps you can interview them individually after this, if they would agree, the panelists. Okay, thank you. Last question.
Sir, may I just get your response on Tristan from CNN Philippines. Sir, 2 House resolutions were filed today asking for explanation on the water shortage. And then some observation din, sir, said that if 2016 nakita na yung problema, saan po kaya daw, sir, nagkulang? Were preparations not enough? Or nagkagulatan po ba on this current situation? Thank you. To anyone po, to Manila Water, to MWSS.
Okay. As I have said, we should not be, as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to blame. These are all water on the bridge, as I've been telling. Just take up from the Kaliwa Dam. That was more than 40 years in the making. It's only during the Duterte administration, 2017, that we started it. Actually, that's the culprit. But I said, given that, knowing the source, the demand, and the need for water sources, we are now doubling our time. That's why I mentioned a while ago, Ilato program in progress. But I hope you understand that these are not a 1 month, 2 months, 1 year project. We need to go through NEDA, we have to go to DNR, we have to do a lot of processes. So we are concentrating more on the things that we have already started. For instance, we need the SUMAG, which is about 186 million liters per day. That was started already with Manila Water. Somewhere along the line, nagkaroon ng snag, so pinatigil. So we are convincing the local officials na sana payagan na makontinue yan because it will contribute to the water in Angat. But again, yung sinasabi ni Ferds at saka ni Juan Fernandez ng Manila, we also saw problems in the transmission, no, in our aqueducts and our tunnels. Again, nothing has been done about this. These are vintage 1936, 1956. It's only 2 years ago that we are starting to correct them. We are finishing, hopefully by September, October, the one line which will accommodate about 2,400 million liters per day. As I mentioned a while ago, I am encouraging both Manila and Manila Water to expedite yung project nila sa Tunnel 5 because I have no more money to borrow. I am only up to the Aqueduct 7, which is now being constructed. But the Aqueduct 7 will be useless if the Tunnel 5 will not be constructed. Why? Because that Aqueduct 7 will flow into a new tunnel, supposedly, another 2.4 million liters per day capacity. So we will now, if that will be finished, we will now disable all our old lines because that is where the system's laws are. Nawawala yung tubig habang dumadaan dito kasi butas-butas na siguro, and these are not even big one compliant. That's why ito yung ginagawa natin. Hopefully in the next 1.5 to 2 years, yung another 2.4 can be completed. Now, why is that too important? Yung sinasabi ko kanina, na kahit na spilling level kami sa Ipo and sa Angat Dam, ang tubig hindi makapasok sa Lamesa Dam. Kasi ang capacity lang is only 4,000 million liters per day. Tapos meron pang mga naiwan doon sa butas-butas na pipes. If this will be accomplished, 2.4 plus 2.2, that's 4.8. I think there will be enough water. Kung matapos namin yung aming 2 CMS or about 186 million liters per day from Sumag, then we can add to the yung kakulangan ng ating Manila Water. And I think Maynila will not mind kasi sabi niya medyo hanggang 2025 daw wala siyang problema eh. So I'm taking that. So hindi niya sinabi public pag sinabi niya sa akin. So I'm making it public now. Ito kami lang kasi diyan eh, nagkakantsawan lang kami. That's the way we operate here. So yung 186 siguro ibibigay na namin yan sa Manila Water kung madagdagan. But kailangan din yung tunnel, and both of them has to work on that because hati sila doon sa gastos eh. It has to be completed with our aqueduct. At sinasabi ko sa kanila, baka mas mura na ngayon yan. And it is not, ang cost niyan is about 3.2 billion. Hopefully with the tunnel boring machine nandito, baka makamura kami, makasave kami dyan ng 25 to 30%. So, again, if we save about 750 million pesos, then it will be a savings for the tariff, no? Para mababa yung tariff. But we need to construct this within the next 1.5 years to 2 years para hindi na tayo magkakaroon ng problema dito sa Lamesa Dam. My idea there is that if you need, that's about 480, 4,800, kahit na magdagdag pa ako ng 200 sa Manila Water, may 600 tayong naiwan. If this 600 can now be diverted to Lamesa Dam, we hope that during spilling period at Angat and Ipo, we can now throw the excess water to Lamesa Dam. In effect, itong ginagawa natin ngayon are also flood control to ease up or mitigate the flooding in Bulacan. So this is how we work on the project now. We have to analyze the problem and hopefully find the right solution. Ito naman niya, wag na tayong magturot ang mali yan, 40 years, ganun. Hindi na yung aming isip eh. May problema, upuan namin. Ano ang pinakamabilis na solusyon? So ito yung ginagawa natin. After all, we have a president who has a build program. We are being supported. Itong Kaliwa Dam, we were supported by the president all along. Maraming objection dyan. But he signed the special power of attorney for me to sign the contract and the financing. So walang problema yan. So this is one of the things that encourage us to work harder because our president is behind us.
Okay, at this point would like to ask closing statements. No, okay.
No, maybe this is the part of the closing statement, but also to answer that question. I support General's view na this is not time to blame whatever happened in the past. But all I could say is that Manila Water has not been remiss in advocating for new water sources for a long time. As a concessionaire, we have a good sense of the demand because that is part And we are encouraged actually by the current MWSS administration's focus on water security. Never mind that we are on catch-up mode right now, but we are encouraged that there is real action in looking for options and balanced by the chief regulator's view that whatever is the solution, it should be fair to the customer so that it's really still at a good price. So, but this is all moving forward. And we are very encouraged that we have been listened to much stronger now because it's water supply is a serious issue. The other point I'd like to make is that as concessionaires, we are even willing to be part of the development of water sources in a bigger way. Right now, we are just drawing small amounts from the lake. We are encouraged by the direction of General Velasco to be involved in building dams ourselves, because I think this is really time for government and private sector to work together to solve a very serious issue. But as I have said, and I will say again, in the meantime, our focus is in making sure our customers who are affected by the current situation get help from us, and we are deploying all resources to provide that. And it's going to be a long summer, and we ask our customers to bear with us as we progressively improve and find better ways. But again, we will continue to update our customers on a daily basis on what we can provide, and hopefully we will be more predictable in the coming days. Thank you.
Thank you, President Birds. Now, parting shot from Attorney Patrick T, our Chief Regulator.
We all know what's happening right now in Manila Water side, the East Zone, that there's water shortage. So actually, I encourage everyone to start saving water, not just because of the current situation, but there's a demand in the future. The demand, the water consumption demand in the Metro Manila is still going to go up, not down. So I encourage everyone that we should start saving now. We should make it a habit to check for leaks. Don't waste water, reuse water. If you need to cut down on car washes, do it. Because remember, water is life, and this is a finite resource. And pag mawala na yun, wala na ito. Diba? We can keep building dams, but the problem, there's also environmental impact. So, and pinaka problema, ang tagal. Ang daming kailangang daanan. As General said earlier, yung Kaliwa Dam, sa start pa lang ngayon, Marcos time pa ito. Marcos time pa ito na plano, ngayon lang magagawa. Ngayon pa lang magsisimulan, and sana matapos na. But it takes that long to build a new source of a water source. So please, I encourage everyone to start saving water.
Okay. President Mon?
Nais ko lang iparating sa lahat ng aming 1.41 million connections serving more than 9 million customers na we remain committed to serve our customers at the best quality that we can with the full support of MWSS. Yung sinabi po kanina na we are confident that we can have supply up to 2025, marami pong assumptions doon. Ang pangatlong assumption po is that we are now working on our third plant in the Laguna Bay. Marami po pang gagawin doon. And as mentioned already by all the speakers, it takes a long time to develop a new water source. Kaya po, nananawagan kami na sama-sama tayo dito, mga kasamahan namin sa DENR, sa mga LGU, sa mga barangay, na nagde-depend kaming lahat po sa mga permits. Sana expedite naman yung mga permits namin. Katulong po namin kayo na magpo-provide ng serbisyo sa aming customers. Marami pa po kaming inihintay dun sa third plant namin. Kaya marami pong assumptions dun sa sinabi ni General na confidente kami na mangyayari in 2025 water security. Thank you very much.
Okay, that ends our press briefing, and thank you everyone for coming over to this.
At yan po naging press conference ng ilang kumpanya kaugnay sa supply ng tubig. Ayaw na raw magturo ni MWSS Administrator General Reynaldo Velasco kung sino ang may kasalanan kung bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng problema ngayon sa tubig. Ang anya, mahaba daw ang proseso para solusyonan ang problema sa tubig at isa na nga raw dito ay luma na ang mga aqueducts. Kaya naman daw pinapaspasan na ang konstruksyon nito at inaasahang makakatulong sa pagdagdag ng supply ng tubig sa mga consumers. At kanilang panawagan, magtipid daw po ng paggamit ng tubig. At yan ang mainit na balita sa oras na ito. Tutok lang dito sa GMA News TV para oras-oras. Alam mo, ako po si Lala Roque. Magandang hapon.